I'm here today with Mayor-elect Dr. Steve Demetropoulos, Mayor-elect of the city of Pascagoula. Congratulations, Dr. Demetropoulos.
David, thanks, and it's good to be here with you, and it's good to have the election over, and now the real work begins. So I'm glad to sit down with a little interview here and talk about it.
Wonderful. We're really curious, what made you decide to run for mayor?
You know, our city, just like any city, was having some struggles, and I was looking around to say who would be involved to help fix the problems. And for our city, I kept thinking, if I'm not willing to fix the problem, how could I ask someone else to step up and do it? And so I had a few people approach me, and I said, you know what, I think I can do this, but I'm going to need help, and it's not just going to be about me, it's going to be about a team. And so that's how we began the journey. And, you know, I don't know how this is going to play out, but I do know I'm going to give it my best, and I know my city. And I think people are really hungry for change, and they demonstrated it at the ballot box, so I'm excited about the possibilities.
That's great. You know, physicians that are interested in advocating and running for political office, be it at the municipal level or at the statewide level, legislative level, how did you know where to start with your campaign? And if there are some pieces of advice you might give to some fellow physicians around the state who might be looking to do something along?
So we were really methodical about it, and that's just, you know, and I think for the most part, physicians are this way. So this is how kind of physician minds work. So we're thoughtful about things. So I brought together a small group and vetted it. You know, the first thing you'll have to do is make sure your spouse is on board. I mean, that's critical. And so if your spouse is on board and you vet it within that group and say, is this doable? Then the next step is put together a team, you know, people you trust. The next step is, can you raise money? And so that's something that I always feel uncomfortable with, and doctors feel uncomfortable with, I think, in general. You know, just talking about asking people for money. But the thing is, if you have a good chair that you can trust, they'll bring in other people. And it's surprising to me how many businessmen, lawyers, people in other professions, they understand the importance of engagement in financial races much more than we do. So I received a lot more funding from business people than I ever did from even the physician sector, and that's something we could probably learn from. So once we had a reception, we had a good fundraiser, it generated the money. The next step was to say, how do you be strategic about a campaign? So we actually found somebody to do all our internet stuff, our website, and that was really critical. And that's something you can hire. You can find something to do. The next step is to find out how you want to, like signs, push cards, mail outs. Strategically, we thought we want to get something. Not everybody does internet. Not everybody does cards. Not everybody gets a paper anymore. So you have to do a little bit of everything. One thing I did learn is kind of funny. If somebody puts a sign up in your yard, that's like they're ready to die for you. They'll take a bullet for you because no one else, there's so many businesses and so many folks that have, you know, other interests where they can't declare allegiance for somebody. They won't do it. They'll support you, and that's okay. They'll give financially, they'll support you, they'll pull the ballot box lever, but to put a sign up, they'll take a bullet for you.
That's great. And following along those same lines, what do you believe are the skill sets that physicians, you and others, bring to the table that make you a great candidate for elective office?
You know, so when I got to thinking about it, we're uniquely qualified. I mean, in a couple of ways. We're used to working in teams, so we know how to collaborate with people. We know how to, dissect a problem. And once you dissect the problem, then you can kind of methodically go through how you're going to correct it. And then the other part is the thing that we do, we know our communities. I mean, we know families, we know people. They're connected to us. We know the issues. So it's not like we're someplace in a little isolated, siloed business. I mean, we touch so many lives every day. And so it's just a matter of, instead of moving it from healthcare and dealing with disease and illness to dealing with problems that are associated with people's lives, it's not that big a jump.
Well, Dr. Demetropoulos, what do you hope to accomplish as mayor, the newly elected mayor of Pascagoula?
We struggle with a little bit of divisiveness in our city. And so, you know, the first thing I come out and I say, I want to be a uniter, and I want to be an engager, and I want to engage people and be a part of the solution. And when I go around and talk to any groups, I said, one person is not going to fix our problems, but all of us working together can. And then I talk about not one group can fix our problems. So we're a diverse community, and I say, I want everybody to be engaged in the solution. You know, it's kind of like with state medical. You know, one or two people doing some good work is helpful, and it's important. We've got to do the work. But if all of us just gave a little bit of our time, a little bit of our energy, a little bit of our talents, the possibilities are so much greater. And so for me, it's, you know, I had this standardized approach. I wanted to be more strategic in the way we approach problems in our city. I wanted to collaborate with other people and bring people together to solve problems. I want to be detail-oriented, and that's something that physicians are as well. I wanted the details that have got to matter, like how the flower beds look, if there's a pothole in the street that's not filled in, if there's litter that hadn't been picked up. If we take care of the little things, it sends a message that we're willing to take care of the big things. And then finally, to communicate better, and that's the key. Both internally, what I found out is I visit with different constituencies and different groups, that there's so much good news in our little town, but nobody else knows about it. Kind of like in the State Medical Association. So there's great news in everything we're doing, but how do we push that information out rather than have people pull it? And then how do we create positivity? You know, that's the difference in successful and mediocre organizations. Whether people are positive about the organization, what's their view of it? Are they positive? They have a lot of pride in it. And so that's what I think we're seeing a lot happening within State Medical Association, and I'm very excited about that. And that's kind of where we kind of learned how to get our start a little bit about public service and serving other people. And we give up our time after hours, and we go to those meetings, and so it's not a far jump to say, well, you know, I gave to other physicians, now I have to give to my whole community.
Well said. Congratulations, Dr. Demetropoulos.
Thank
you for your service.
Thank you. You're welcome.